many clinical research work can be done without economical support or less economical support. So, clinical works can be done, research work can be done with the spirit, great spirit of the doctor or physician involved.
Okay, so come to the just answer to this our basic question. Why researches are less instead of being a lot number of clinicians? This is a question. So please address this point.
I think there is a difference, otherwise a gap in between the retracing the data first we get. Suppose its example is a single case of spondylolisthesis, and we can retrace it later on, whether it is possible, and then the reciprocity, that is, once we find the data 1 year, after 2 years or 3 years, which is the minimum time required for experimental studies to happen, whether we can reciprocate within that period, and then reinforcement. Whether it is observational study, whether it is an editorial, whether it is a case report, it's our determination that we have to publish, and we can do that. So if we can apply these 3 steps in our programs, I think it will be definitely
in essence,
more
you want to say that the collection of the data and all these subsequent steps are lacking, and that is might be the reason for the lack of publication. Deepaswiti actually was raising hand for long. Just can you just?
I think that I'm working in a government hospital and I run a pain clinic, and since last 5 or 6 years, I feel that there should be a separate department of that is called algology department, or an extension of the anesthesia department like critical care unit, that algology unit of algology or something like this, and government should help us. Otherwise, if I have to take care of all the OTs and also doing pain for 3 or 4 days in a week, it's not possible to devote also in anesthesia.
In other ways, what Dr. Dureja initially told that
so government should help us. Otherwise, it's very
that
difficult.
means we are overburdened with our patient and lack of support, and that is one of the very important areas. If you are summarizing that why the researches are less, so you can understand that one very important aspect is willingness, lack of motivation from our undergraduate studies. We have not been trained in that way how to publish our papers. Lack of support system means the infrastructure that is required, that is not, and definitely these are the human beings. A lot of restrictions, limitations are there for having. Few more comments apart from these points. If you have anything extra, that is what she has already mentioned. That the collection of the data and extrapolating it later on, this system is also. That means the support system is also lacking.
Can I add one thing? Suppose in Gangaram Hospital, actually, we have now statistician has been provided, and there is a.
That means the data is very important part for the
society can provide those who want to do something, and the student at the level of the student, residency or something when they are young practitioner, if they can be helped by some other means.
Motivation and the data collection. Dr. Thapa, please.
Yeah, I like to draw attention to one of the recent studies, not so very recent, but 3-4 years back. Nepal Medical Association did a study over the country among all the physicians as to why the research papers from our part of the world is lesser. Apart from all the points which has been very well covered, there are a few more points. One was that lack of knowledge about how to carry on statistics and research methodology. Second was that all the physicians actually consider that their work is a masterpiece. Research is the art. You have to climb the ladders. So we should always start from the lower phase. So, for example, observational study, and then later on go to a case control, and then randomized clinical trial. Besides this, the most important fact which we have now facing is a lack of validated outcome scales, lack of validated questionnaire-based surveys. These validation has to be there. Now, in the field of pain, there are a lot of validated questionnaires which has come up, not only in the basis of how to work up a patient, but also to evaluate the outcome. So if this is known to most of the people who are practicing this field, the moment they are actually managing the patient, they can record their data in these questionnaires, and henceforth it will be easy for them to accumulate the data and present it.
In essence, it is a support system which is not supporting clinicians to publish their data. Okay, Dr. Saxena wants to add some points.
Can I just say one more?
Yes, yes.
Just want to add a few more things. I'm basing it on 2 studies which we recently conducted. One was in a non-specific back pain, we had to inject something, which I don't know, on the facet joint, not inside the facet joint. And there was a big consent form because I didn't know the nature of agent. I used to ask the patient, you have a non-specific back pain, can I use this? The answer was, I'm not a guinea pig. So for 60 patients, it took me 2 years to do this study when I was seeing more than 50 patients a day of non-specific back pain. So that is another major factor. Once you tell them that it is a research study and you are a part of the research, no. You don't get volunteers to do any study. In India, in abroad, yes, you pay them money, they'll come forward. Here, we have to pay everything.
So
for
that
the
means
patient.
finance is also a very important hurdle.
Yes. Now, second is about the prevalence study, which we published in 2014, prevalence of chronic pain in India. We have to make 2.5 lakh phone calls and 25,000 responded, just to know whether they have chronic pain. Yes. Phone call, we want to know about TAC. Nobody would respond to it. Only 25,000 patients responded, out of which we came to know the statistics was about 14%. So these are difficulties, and for each study we have to spend more than 25 lakhs of rupees. So we don't have that much.
That means
money.
financial support is one of the very important aspects why there is lack of researches. Dr. Saxena wants to add something.
No, in addition to what has already been said, I think the one, someone commented on the retrospective analysis. I think we have to be very careful with retrospective analysis, the typical example being the effect of non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs on bone healing. And the animal models were very clearly showing the interference with the bone healing. When they went on to this retrospective analysis data, they found in the spinal fusion surgery, that was a big series, they found that it was going against, in the sense that it was not interfering with the bone healing. So there can be a lot of confusion when you are actually going with the retrospective data. But yes, you are always welcome to do that. But even for retrospective analysis, you need ethical clearance. So let us not forget. The other thing which, of course, Dr. Gautam was talking about, yes, evidence-based medicine. But I think we should always remember that when we are talking of evidence-based medicine, it does not always help in clinical decision-making, I'm sure. And the two typical examples are there. It may help or it may not help. No, the two typical series...
Dr. Saxena, we are just discussing about what are the, why publications are less. If you wish to add the points which you have already discussed, can you just highlight those points?
Yeah, just one point. In the sense that I was giving a typical example of you are planning a study and planning a diagnostic block plus and followed by RF. Now, the two studies which actually mentioned positive outcome when someone was talking about the outcome, because he had given PRF close to the median branch and it went in favor of that. The other one was actually pushing intra-articular steroid, so it went against. So two studies are in favor and two against. So where we actually arrive at. So this is a typical
No,
example.
what we are discussing. Dr. Joshi, want to add to some other point why publications are less?
I just wanted to share one of my experience where I was, my institute was involved in the study. As Dr. Dureja rightly said, it's difficult to recruit patients. It is difficult to have infrastructure, time, special resources. We had one cancer pain prevalence study which was taken up in April 2012. The concept was conceived in April 2012 and till date it is not published. In spite of it is being funded by American Cancer Society and Human Rights Watch and over here supported by Peliam India, and it was taken up in 4 research regional cancer centers. One is Chitranjan Das Hospital, one is Orissa, MNJ Institute and My Gujarat Cancer and Research Institute. After concept paper, the things needs to be sanctioned from all the 4 RCCs. That took almost 4 to 6 months. After that, training of recruiting the people, researchers at each center, selection of the researcher, training them, sending them back to the original institute and collection of the data. Then that all took 1 year. After collection of the data, compilation and evaluation, it took 1.5 years. Only last February, we could present the data in form of PowerPoint presentation, but still yet to be published. So it is a very extensive job where lots of money is involved. And secondly, people who has real time only to do research.
So patience is another very important aspect. We should be having time also.
Very important.
One more point, all studies should be double blind, as we all know. And you do a double blind study in private sector, maybe even government sector now, telling the patient that this may not be the drug which may relieve your pain. This is a placebo. and you get a consent. I can bet you only 1 out of 100 patients will give a consent. So doing a double-blind study is impossible in our. So I think the sensitization of the public in general about the research should also be done. They should also be told.
So this is very important, that the public awareness is also very important. They should also come forward to be a part of the research. Dr. Bhayati, please. On microphone.
Good morning, everybody. I think all the points have been discussed by the panelists. They are very valid points. But I personally feel that in present day circumstances, it's a game of numbers which plays everywhere. We have to have maximum number of pain physicians who are practicing sincerely pain, and then only we are going to form a pressure group on all the bodies, let be the government body or private bodies. Because till that time, all these problems are discussed are going to be there till we form a pressure group on the authorities, FDAs, everything. I think that's very well important. Let the more pain physicians grow. That's what I feel. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Bhatt, please.
See, we have discussed a lot about motivation. How can you motivate a student who has never heard of or seen a study done? He has never seen his teacher's research. How does he get the motivation from? That is one major problem. And then he gets into a situation where unless he publishes, he will not get a promotion. That's a kind of a pressure. So that is a publish or perish situation. So, the original inclination to do research is not there. But he is doing it because he's got to do it.
So in one word, the seniors should also be blamed that they are not motivating the juniors for the publications.
Yeah.
Am I right?
No. I am coming to the other aspects of the same problem. Yes, seniors should be motivated. They may be too old to change, but then they've got to change because they've got to go with the system. Now, so this publish or perish is going to produce mediocre papers because neither the investigator is interested nor is the subject good enough. Then there is the other type where there is something definitely interesting to convey and somebody wishes to publish and they can publish. Here they have to know how to do it and somebody motivated enough will do it. Then there is the other kind of research where you find something very, very important that has to be conveyed and then you do it. That will be the best kind of research.
Okay.
Then motivation will come automatically.
So a lot of points have been discussed why the publications are less.
But
And
ultimately, it is the personal factor
question is,
and
answer
discipline.
is, now we have to find out what can be the solutions. How should we move forward? How should we motivate ourselves as well as our juniors to bring this specialty from a toddler, infancy to the adulthood? What should the steps? How should we move forward? I'll be coming to the panelists first, then I'll be asking these questions to the house as well. Dr. Saxena, can we start? That how should we start? How should we move forward from this point to take our specialty ahead?
It's a very tough